Okay, as usual, in the beginning, I need a few moments to set up the session energetically, and then I start with the guidance. Okay, and in the end, we always have some time to chat and answer questions and share and so forth. So enjoy. I start with opening up the energy field. And bring in light. Then I expand the energy field. Expanding the energy field helps to hold more light in the system, and also more awareness comes with that as well. Awareness in all areas of life, everything you can think of. So awareness can always be, more there, more. So I'm still expanding. I fill up the expanded space with light. And the light that's coming in is very beautiful. It's like um, when it's raining, but it's slowly starts raining, and this is how the light today is coming in right now. So it's just slowly raining into our system. So energy field and body, and in the area around us, very gentle. And at the same time, um, very strong in a subtle way, if that makes sense. Okay, then I clear surface energies, very persistent surface energies. Surface energies is all sorts of energies that are floating around the top of your system. So the movement, the movement in the system. Behind the movement is the stillness, the silence, the peace, the clarity. It's all found behind the movement. So what I said before about the relaxation, when we are relaxing more and more, then there is automatically less movement, even though we move actively through our days. But in the system, less energy movement. And then automatically we have more access to the energies I was talking about, or the space that's there, what I was talking about. So the silence, the freedom, the clarity, so, because it's there all the time anyways. So I'm clearing more of this moving energy, and maybe you can experience right away that there is more relaxation happening, more expansion is happening when these surface energies are being cleared. Then I also clear energies out of the mind, thoughts, just energy that gets stuck on a mind level and creates all these thoughts. And basically what I can share here is, of course, the more we raise our vibration, the more high vibrational the thoughts are. So that's good. That's a way of doing it. But it's really about not getting caught up in thoughts, not give the thoughts too much attention, because it's just energy movement. And behind this energy movement, again, is the silence, the stillness. And this is just a very beautiful space to be in. You know, I mean, often we're not used to the silence and the stillness. We prefer some sort of movement in our systems. And then, of course, it's better if we have a higher vibrational movement. But in the end, it's about not having any movement, or only in the present moment when it's needed, but not like running by itself for basically no reason except for being there. So I clear thoughts, the energy of thoughts. There is a lot of light present already. It's very persistent and strong, just flows into the system. It's now filling up the mind level. And then automatically, maybe you can feel that there is more energy in the brain as well, and on the mind level, so that there are less or no thoughts. If there are still thoughts, don't worry. Just allow them to be there. They might get less and less during the session. So I clear more energies out of the mind. And then I also work specifically on a specific function on the mind level that creates all these energies, or that helps to create all these energies, all these thoughts. So I work on this for a little bit in silence, so 1 or 2 minutes. So I just remove this mechanism or start dissolving it, so that you will have, or you can have, less thoughts during your everyday life experience as well. So often there is a silence and stillness experienced after that, or while I'm doing this, and the system, is not used to that. And then it feels weird, but what I can share with you is just relax into it. Just allow it to happen. And there is also a mechanism from the heart up into the mind where, so in the heart is always the identification, right? So with everything we're experiencing in life, life itself is unfolding in a neutral way. And then we personalize it or make it personal. And there's a functioning in the heart for that. And this is where I often clear energies, right? I call it, this is where the identification lays. And I will also remove or dissolve this function that it, so it, the energy jumps from the heart into the mind, so that we take thoughts and life experience personal. And I also work on that. Dissolve this mechanism. And again, there is more relaxation in the system, more expansion, more light can enter through that. So basically, when these functions are being dissolved and eventually gone, automatically there is more expansion and light, but they're all the time. Then I open up the central energy channel. The central energy channel is located in the center of our energy field. And this is where life energy, so life itself, flows through our system. And everybody has this flow of energy, just some people less and some people more. So it always depends on, of course, the openness and expansion and the clarity of the system, or how cleared it is. And the more open and expanded this channel is, in general, our system and life energy is flowing, the more life is experienced, just the unfolding of experiences in the present moment. So it gets very simple. Life itself is actually very, very simple. Just the mind and a lot of energy patterns that are in our systems are making it the opposite. Complicated. But now the mind should be already very quiet. And I remove the surface energies, so there should be just a lot of light in your system and more coming in, more coming in, more coming in. And then I help that more life energy can flow. And also, when there is more life energy flowing, also the body receives more of that energy, and it helps the body to stay healthier and younger and more active and so forth. So we get energy through, of course, eating, sleeping, but most of the energy we're actually getting through life energy flowing through our system. Then I open up the chakras, crown chakra first. third eye chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral chakra, and root chakra. There is more energy of relaxation coming in, that we can relax even more. Energy of acceptance. This helps us to accept life as it is. And acceptance is just a step towards, so acceptance, allowing, and then just to surrender to to allow life to unfold in the way as it is, fully, 100%. So there's nothing in the way of that. This is basically the goal. And this is the integration process. So the more integrated we are, or the light is in our system, the more we just allow life energy to flow, and there is nothing in the way, or less and less over time. And this is what we want. Because when all these low vibration energies are removed, or many of them at least, then we have so much more energy available for other stuff, like for being creative, for creating the life as we prefer it. And when I talk about creating life, it's not really, you know, I manifest this or that item. It's really about, it's about everything. So we 100% create our reality. Everybody does that. But it's so much more than bringing certain items or experiences into your life. It's like a, I prefer not to use these terms, but I just use them for explanation reasons. You know, there are these different dimensions of density, and just to move into a different dimension of density, so in a higher one, and then life experience manifests differently. So there are not even low vibrational men in this life experience, for example. In this high vibration, they don't exist there. So we just want to move up the vibration, because then everything that reflects back to us from our own consciousness is also high vibrational. And this is how creation is working. So it doesn't have anything to do with just specific things. It's like a whole new way of experiencing life. Okay, then I start clearing some of these low vibration energies so that our vibration can rise up. So I go with the lowest chakras first. Second, anger. I clear anger and resistance, just anger and resistance towards life and life itself. So there is anger towards how life is unfolding, and that it, you know, unfolds in a different way than you prefer. So there is anger and resistance to life itself. Clear those energies. These are one of the main blockages. Heart chakra is always identification. I don't prefer how life is unfolding. I don't prefer it. I don't prefer it. I want it to be different. I want it to be different. I don't prefer the circumstance I'm in. I don't prefer the situation I am in. I want to be somewhere else. I want to be in a different situation. So I clear those energies. I prefer to have things my way. So this is always coming from the ego. You know, the ego wants also the thoughts though, but this is like the ego thoughts if you want to specify them. But we want to be in a different, we want to have things our way, my way. Heart chakra, I want things my way. I want things my way. I want things my way. I want that life unfolds in the way I want it. I prefer it. And this is the thing when I say we create our reality, on the one hand is surrender, and on the other hand is movement towards that we prefer. So just both at the same time. But then how life manifests, we need full surrender for that. And then we have the movement. But if possible, it should come from the heart. So what we want from the heart, how we want to experience life from the heart versus from what the ego wants. So I clear more of these ego patterns, ego energies. I want things my way. 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 I don't prefer how life is unfolding. I don't prefer it. I don't prefer it. So it's just very fundamental, very core blockages. Then more anger, more anger, more anger, more anger. Then shame, also clear the energy of shame. Shame in a way that we wanted life energy and life to unfold in a specific way, and it didn't, and we felt then ashamed because we took it personally. So shame is also there because we take things personally. So a clear energy of shame, 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 shame. And guilt, also guilt, same thing. Guilt only exists because we take things personally. Clear guilt, 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 guilt. Then confusion, in general, the energy of confusion, third chakra, the energy of confusion. When there is, so back and forth between heart and mind, heart and mind. So this kind of confusion, not really knowing what we want, what's good for us, what's authentic, what resonates. So when there is a back and forth, so this confusion, mind, heart, or identification, ego, and life energy. You can also put it in that way, life flowing, life itself. And then also the energy of lack and trying to fill this lack with activity on the outside. So with all sorts of activities. So we have the energy of lack in our system, and then we want to fill it in various different ways, with items, with partners, with experiences, and so forth. So I clear the energy of lack, third chakra. Then root chakra, fear. So just a few core fears: fear of dying, fear of being alone, fear of not having anybody, fear of not being supported, fear that life suddenly turns like into a, let's say life is unfolding in a nice way right now, and then there is this fear that it suddenly turns around and it's unfolding in a different way than you prefer, in a low vibrational way, or everything is falling apart, like in that kind of way. So clear these fears. And the misunderstanding out of the system that if some things are not continuing, that there is an end, because there is an end never exists, like it doesn't exist. Especially not in creation, is all infinite, so there is always movement, always something new is coming in, even though certain things are ending. Then there is space for new things to come in. There might be a certain gap, a space in between, new things can come in, because when all things end, then the system usually reorganizes, it balances more out, and then new things can come in, and they're mostly better, more high vibrational, especially when we do this kind of work. So just clear this misunderstanding that, we hold on, we grab on to certain old patterns, old understandings, because we fear if we let them go, there's nothing behind there, nothing new will come in, and this is a misunderstanding. So I clear this misunderstanding. And this is actually one very important clearing, because I know a lot of people are rather hold on to the known and to the old, because they think nothing will come after that, or they can't imagine what can after that. And actually this is really how it is, like we can never imagine how life is going to unfold. The mind tries to do that, but it doesn't work, like it's not even a thing. The mind tries to figure out the future. Then clear more fear of, yeah, just sudden changes in a negative way, and of all sorts of sudden, so, okay, the best way I can explain this, how sudden changes can come in, is just a, so we energy is moving through our system constantly, right? And when there are sudden changes happening in experience, just means that old patterns are not fed by life energy anymore, because life itself self want to move direction, like change direction. And then new patterns will be fed or will come in, or not even patterns, but just the new will just come in. So energy will be withdrawn from certain areas of your life. This is why things fall away, or why it's not even sudden, like this can take weeks or months anyways, but just for understanding reasons, energy is withdrawn from certain patterns. Life is doing this is by itself. And then new possibilities are fed by this life energy. So this is just a change in energy movement. Like we have wind, right? So the wind is coming from north, it's always coming from north, and then suddenly it's changing, it's coming from the west, you know, so just different wind, different movement. And this is really how we experience changes in our lives. That's all. It's just the energy moves differently. And then always depending on how much we grip to the old, how much we hold on to the old. If we don't hold on to the old, this movement is very smooth and easy. And if we hold on to the old tightly, then it's of course a lot harder. And it can also take, this transition time can take a lot longer. So I clear energies that are gripping. So these gripping energies that are holding on to the old. So there is no such thing as sudden changes. It's just a change in energy movement. And then depending on where we are at with the openness of our system and the expansion, how we perceive it and experience this energy change. So I clear these gripping energies, and in general, the gripping and even though to the high vibrational stuff, because not just low vibrational, but also high vibrational, because the more high vibrational we get, the more high vibrational experiences are coming in naturally, you know, it's just naturally. So it's best not to grab on anything, to hold on anything. So, okay. Then I clear more fear of the new, fear of letting go, fear of the new, fear of letting go. I clear those energies. Then energy of trust. So the loss of trust in life. So need to clear more of these gripping energies. So I can just see there are a lot of them there. So energies that just grip on, hold on to the known. Clear more of them. So also habits, habitual energies. So we are naturally exposed to habits as humans, you know, but the less habits are there, the better, because even though they're positive habits, if we think they're positive, they're good for us, it's still it still blocks from free movement of energy, because things can change day by day. And habits keep us in the same experience over and over again. even though they might be serving. But of course, we rather have high vibrational habits until we don't need them anymore, or until we are able to let them go. So with everything, it's better to have the high vibrational version first. But this can be, a year-long process. So we go from low vibrational to high vibrational, and then depending on wherever you're moving then, or whatever the goal is in this lifetime, let's say it like that, also the high vibrations are gonna go eventually. And basically what we do here is I raise your vibration. So if there is still, because there are still energies playing out in heavens and so forth, that it can manifest in a high vibrational way. Okay. Third chakra, I clear more shame and guilt. Also second chakra. They're sometimes overlapping, I see that, or they're present in both chakras, but third chakra is always a bit more specific or more high vibrational guilt. So just, let's say, guilt for a lot of very small reasons or experiences in life. So not worth basically looking into them specifically. So I just clear the guilt. There's just a lot of guilt, 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 guilt. So even like small things, let's say, like tiny things. I could just see tiny things, like, for example, dropping trash somewhere where you're not supposed to put trash, like in nature or something. Just I never put trash in nature, but just saying, like, even these small things where then guilt arose. So just small tiny things. See them in the third chakra. Also, so guilt for heart chakra, when you chose yourself over others and you felt guilty. So I chose myself over others. I choose myself, and I feel guilty. So heart chakra is always in. I choose myself over others and I feel guilty about it. I choose myself first. I choose myself first. I choose myself first. And when these energies are gone, we can totally choose ourselves first, but then it's in a more natural way, and choosing yourself first then also serves others. This goes hand in hand when these energies are not there anymore. So clear heart chakra. I choose myself first. And I feel guilty about it. I feel guilty. I feel guilty. I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed. I shouldn't choose myself first. I shouldn't choose myself first. I want to be a good person. I want to be a good person. I want to choose others first. Also these energies. And then more energies. So root chakra, fear of not having enough, or so not having enough, in a way, like not having enough money, not having enough items or goods that you need, shelter and so forth. So clear these energies. Then the fear of doing things wrong. Fear of doing things wrong. I clear these energies. In whichever way. So there was just a lot of clearing of different low vibration energies, and more to come. First, I need to open up the energy field more. bring in more light. So more shame, a second chakra, where you did certain things throughout your lifetime and you basically regret them. So both also energy of regret, a clear shame and regret. Both of these energies you felt ashamed because of doing, and then the regrets because of doing these things or not doing certain things, maybe not helping out, or also doing things that are maybe against the law. And it's very fascinating because law is, of course, human made, and depending on where we incarnate, in which country, we kind of fall under a specific law. But also raising the vibration, I see more and more it's moving out of this out of these structures, so that we are moving more and more into our own understanding of what's right and wrong, of course, so we're not influenced by any structures that are made up by men. And I see that we're definitely going more and more into this direction, and we should, because of course laws are important. If people are in a certain vibration, to have laws is important. But if you move out of this vibration and you are able to make choices for yourself, like really compared to people who are in a low vibrational state, or to make better choices, high vibrational choices, then they are not needed anymore. And then we naturally move out, and then it's like as if it doesn't exist for us. Like we're not within the structure of laws anymore. It doesn't exist in our experience. Again, it's like we move into a different dimension of vibration, and in this dimension, law doesn't exist, for example. So the higher our vibration is, the more of the known falls away. But it's basically, it falls away in a way as if we just forget about it. Like it's there for other people, but it's not there for us. So I clear limitations that come from social or governmental structures and social structures, just in general now. And then specifically shame and guilt when we chose, or we acted on certain things that were out of these, outside of these laws and social laws also. Okay. We just want to free ourselves from everything. So there is now work happening on the third eye chakra. The energy is clearing and expanding the third eye chakra. Through the third eye chakra, we are basically connected to, let's just say, the higher realms, the light aspect, the unity, and the absolute. So this is where we could see the connection. Up, also the crown chakra, and there's specifically work happening so that there is just more connection, so that eventually we can bring these aspects of ourselves, also layers of ourselves, into our current experience as humans. So this higher information that we are a lot more than just humans. I mean, it comes into our system through the light anyways, but it's specifically coming in. We're not just human, but we are in this incarnation. And maybe you can feel that with that information, there's just a lot more openness, expansion there, a lot more trust, a lot more sinking and relaxing into life experience, allowing life to unfold. So a lot of things I'm talking about are then naturally just there. More freedom. So this information is coming in and it's bringing, yeah, it's every cell of the body receives this information so that we can live more from that understanding. So not just know it intellectually, but live more from that, even though we might not have the experience yet, but that we have the knowing in the system. Okay, I know. I'm a lot more than just human. Let's sit with this for a minute. Give it some time to integrate before we move forward. Since there is a lot more space in the system, a lot more openness, maybe you can feel how expanded you are right now, like the light you're experiencing in your system and around you. There's just so much expansion there compared to when we started. Clear more energies, just in general, hatred, hate. Second chakra, clear energy of hate, 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 hate. And insecurity, third chakra, insecurity. Heart chakra, identification. I feel insecure, I feel insecure, I feel insecure, I feel insecure. I like to rely on others. I like to rely on others. I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself. I feel insecure. I clear these energies. More hatred, second chakra. More anger towards life itself, towards how life unfolded and how it was treating you. And then I expand the energy field even more. Fill up the expanded space with light. I clear in general a few more energies where you were very hard on yourself. Where you were criticizing yourself. Where you weren't loving with yourself. Where you were actually, what's the word? So the opposite of not loving with yourself, you were doing harmful things to yourself, okay, in that kind of way, but not as dramatic. So you did things that weren't serving you. Clear these energies. Then you put restrictions on yourself, all sorts, because you believe they are serving you, all sorts of restrictions. We don't need any, by the way. So a lot of things that we human think that are needed and that are necessary or that are helpful are actually not. They're always limiting. I clear more limitations in general, just energies that are limiting us. Then past life energies, past life where we put, let's say, all sorts of limitations on ourselves, like vows or contracts or whatever you want to call them. It's just energies where we said, okay, for example, a monk living in a monastery, you know, with a very minimum of a lot of anything like food, money, or even no money, intimacy, and so forth. So like a lot of restrictions, and this is just one way. So I see, for example, because it's coming up, lives where we had to have certain restrictions because of religion, because of our social status, because we had to have them because there was no other way, like there was no option. So just different energies were past lives where we had to restrict ourselves. I clear these energies, or where it just happened. And then specifically it's coming up where we gained. So by restricting, we gained a lot. So we felt proud, we felt more important than others, we felt more self-secure, more loved, and so forth. So all these misunderstandings, these were just misunderstandings energies. So I clear all sorts of restrictions where we actually thought we gained something from it, so we got something from it. Massive expansion is happening specifically in the heart chakra. Yeah, so it has to do with Verzicht. What's the English word? Yeah, well, we just didn't do certain things because we thought it's the right thing to do. And this is very restricting on the heart. Very limiting the energy of the heart. Then I look into more past lives. Yeah, basically I see past lives where we made ourselves, so we were, again, it had to do with social status. So we made ourselves less important than others. So we were less important than other humans, or we saw other humans are being more important. So there was just this distinguishing in general, that there is such thing as less or more importance and so forth. So I heal it, clear it, and I also clear it out of your system, because it's very present right now as well. I see it where we give authority more importance. People like, like politicians or actors, or I don't know, influencers, whatever you're looking into, where we see, or we give them more importance. So you have to give them the importance, that they are more important than you are. Like, you have to do that, because otherwise it's not there. Because on the highest truth level, everybody's exactly the same here on earth, moving through life, having their life experience and moving through their karma. Some people have to be in public, some not, some have to be leaders, some not, and so forth. And when we give people the energy of being more important than we are, or whatever, like whichever energy you give them, um, of being an authority and so forth, then we experience that. And this is where how we create our life experience comes in. So this is also a creation. We create that, because it's not like that. We create authorities. We create that certain people are more important than others. It's all our personal, individual creation. So I clear energies where we create such distinguishing, or differences between ourselves and others. Because everybody is exactly the same on the fundamental level. We're all humans having a human experience. We're all light. We're all the unity. We're all the absolute. We're all exactly the same. It's just different karmic patterns in our system that are playing out. That's all. Very simple. So, but we learn that some people are more important and so forth. So I clear those energies. And we can also look up to somebody, for example, or to accept that person as our leader, just saying, or yeah, and seeing the person equally as you are. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't we don't need, because there's often a misunderstanding, but I need this distinguishing or this differentiation happening, so that I can accept somebody as leader. But it's not like that. It's also a misunderstanding. Or yeah, so cleared. Or even, like, accepting a actor to be world famous. Okay, it's a world famous actor. I mean, it's a stupid example, but just to make it very simple here, to give a simple example. But that person is still exactly the same as I am. Same with people who have a lot of money. We often create then this understanding that they must be so important, and we put them on like we see them as higher as we are. Again, it's just other karma playing out, other things. So, for example, money is important to them, or acting is important to them. So this is what they put in their energy, and this is what they're experiencing more of. Very simple. So always where we put in our energy, we will experience more of over time. And then when we are able to remove more and more limitations, the more expanded we can get in that area. And it's exactly the same for everybody. So really depending on where you put your energy, and most of us here are putting it into our spiritual growth. So this is where we want to have the expansion happening. Just different karmic patterns playing out. I clear more energies of where this what's the word, where this energy exchange is happening with other people. They're more important than I am, they're better than I am, so I clear more of these energies. Or they know more, we're all just explorers here of life, so everybody knows in their area what they know, so nobody knows less or more, we just know more. I mean, we just know more in the area where we're exploring. That's the best way I can describe it. So I clear energies that say different. Heart chakra. I'm not important. I'm not as important than others. I'm not. It's really our projection. That's all. Honestly, it's only our projection. We create that they are more important than we are. They're just playing out their karmic patterns. That's all. So now I've cleared so many energies, and there's always, when I clear certain energies, more light is entering, more light is entering. And I see right now there's a lot of peace and freedom in the system. The experience of that is there, calmness. And a certain amount of neutrality towards life, which is very important. And it doesn't mean that then life is not important to us or certain people are not important, but this neutrality, from this neutral space, we can experience high and low vibrational emotions in the present moment, but then we always want to come back to this neutral space. So in the meantime, where no movement is happening, we are in a neutral, so neutral gear. Because, when we move through our day, it's not that we always like bounce up, down in high, low vibrational emotions non-stop. It's not like that. Or eventually it's not going to be like that. We are neutral most of the time during the day. And then there are emotions rising in specific situations, either more high vibrational ones or low vibrational ones. And then when their experience is over, going back to neutral. So this neutrality is there, more of it is there, more of it is there. So also it doesn't sound very exciting, this neutrality, but with the neutrality, there's the joy of existence is basically underlaying this neutrality. And it just brings a lot of clarity, freedom, silence, peace. This emotional movement up and down, or in general, emotional movement all the time, so basically energies that are being triggered, they're distracting us from life itself, from how life is unfolding. And it uses up so much of our energy that we could use for, let's say, better things. So main energies that are present now is this neutrality with underlaying joy of existence. Let's sit with this for a moment so that you can feel this flavor or this energy, and then with the flavor of joy of existence being there as well. And before we finish, I can see there's a lot of light coming in. It's pure divine light. So we're being filled up because the system, has been cleared a lot. A lot of light is present, but this divine light is now specifically coming in. To pure divinity. Let's sit with this for the next 2 minutes before we end this healing session. Okay. We are finished. Thank you very, very much for joining this amazing session.